Major funding for this program was provided by the University of Alaska Southeast Ketchikan campus, with additional support from National Bank of Alaska, Sea Alaska Timber Corporation, and KTOO-TV Juneau.
The bear with the mask on, when he came out, signifies the bear that came out of his cave. It was showing that we have the strength again. It was showing our strength. We hadn't used our strength for a long time. We have been sitting back and we haven't shown ourselves for many years. And we finally came out of the cave to show our strength and our feelings towards our own tribe, and to stand up and show ourselves again as we did before.
Tlingit teacher Esther Shea, Shea, of the Tongas Bear people, walks two worlds. She moves with the spirit of old, the spirit of land and sea, and she moves through the modern world of white commerce and culture.
You have to know the two worlds that you live in. You live in your cultural Tlingit world. You also live in the white man's world. But you cannot walk away from this, your culture.
As a dance leader and cultural teacher, Esther is trying to reawaken traditions and values of her people. Traditions and values that were nearly stamped out. Her life has mirrored the struggle of her people. From loss of heritage to rediscovery of cultural identity in a modern world.
My name is Shea. The meaning of my name is a basket with the sun shining out of it. My house is the brown bear house, Kwaan. And my clan's name is Kwaan.
The Tongas, or Kwaan, were one of the major tribes of the Tlingit Nation in what is now southeast Alaska. The largest national forest in America is named after them. But they were decimated by contact with white culture. By 1900, Esther's ancestors, the Tongas Bear Clan, numbered just a handful of people. Esther is among the last of her people to remember a life of traditional values and language. Esther was born in a remote area of Alaska, in what is now the Misty Fjords National Wilderness. Her father was a fisherman whose life centered around a cannery located at Quadra.
I was born in Quadra, Buckadee Quadra, in April 21st, 1917. Oh, a long time ago, isn't it? I don't even feel that old, no kidding. I don't want to be that old, but I am.
Esther's childhood was intimately linked to the natural world. Her family lived from the sea and from the land. Each year they traveled to a remote camp on the Chicaman River to spend months gathering food for the winter. They collected seafood from the beach. They caught and smoked salmon. From the forest, they found natural medicines and cedar bark and spruce root for weaving. They hunted and put up meats, mountain goat, beaver, deer, porcupine, and geese.
My mother was a brave woman, you know. They left us a canoe. It was one of these dugout canoes. See, used that to get upriver. So she'd paddle us across on the other side, and there was bears, brown bears, you know. She'd take a gun, put it on her shoulder, and would go over there. You could actually smell those bears, and she'd talk to them, you know. They'd be over there, you know, you could see them. We'd be right behind her skirt, taking these gray berries.
Living close to nature, unhurried, gathering food, learning songs and traditions, these were Esther's happiest years. But these times were about to change forever. In the 1920s, Native American children were not allowed to attend public school. Esther and other Tlingit children were sent to government or Indian schools to be assimilated into white culture. Esther was sent away from her family to Sheldon Jackson Missionary School in Sitka.
They were very strict with us. We marched to church. We marched to go to our dining room, and then after we get through eating, we had assembly at the assembly hall. We marched there.
The joyous times of camp life with her family seemed long ago in this foreign and regimented environment. The missionary teachers forbid cultural expression, song, dance, or the speaking of Tlingit. Children caught using their language were shamed and punished.
I talked my language very good then. I spoke, because this is the first language I heard. And I spoke Tlingit to whoever wanted to listen to me. And I got punished for it. And I don't know how many times I got punished. Finally, I quit talking. They locked us up in a meditation room. They had a meditation room in our building. They had a bed in there, nothing else, and no blankets on a bed. I never forget it. I thought the end of the world would come. But I wasn't the only one that was punished for speaking the language. There was quite a few. Then they were afraid to speak it, so nobody spoke after a while.
The suppression of cultural instinct and language damaged many Native children for generations to come. For 40 years, Esther kept her language locked inside. Then, at the age of 50, she was asked to change her life. She was asked to teach Tlingit to young children.
By that time, I was away from speaking my own language so much that I didn't speak it at all. And I didn't want to pick it up. I knew I could speak it, but I wasn't ready to go and teach and learn to read and write it. So now they kept on talking to me, so I said, okay, I'll go.
Esther had to return to school to learn to teach her native language. Ironically, she went back to Sheldon Jackson, which had to become a center for a revival of Native arts. Esther then began to teach in elementary schools.
I'm telling you, the first day I went up to Valley Park, I sweated. I was scared of the kids. I was scared to teach the language. I was scared silly. One more time.
25 years later, Esther now regularly visits schools to introduce her culture to children. For Esther, language is central to Tlingit identity and feeling. She returns to Saxman village near Ketchikan, where she lived for years as a child, to help Native families reestablish the Tlingit language into the home.
Khasika. Kaye. Tukwata. All right. Nayakhat. Very good. Saxman Ekhatyati.
Saxman
Ekhatyati.
Yasi.
Very good, yeah. Just imagine a long time ago you had to use your ears. You had to watch, listen, and do. That's how they learned. Watch, listen, and do. That's how our people learn. And
While teaching language, Esther also reminds students about traditional family values, ways of behaving.
They taught the children not to lie, not to steal, respect property, respect other people's property, respect what they have, respect people. Beaver Sekedi. Sekedi. No, just say Sekedi.
Sekedi.
Na Hatsuti. Very good. And who are these people?
Tlingit Ku'u.
Are they, where do they live?
And a Tlingit Hitty.
In the Tlingit Hitty, right.
Esther uses song as a tool to teach language and invite participation. She sometimes reaches into other cultures for inspiration.
Hallelujah. Okay.
A good teacher is always learning. Esther learned what she knows by listening to her elders. And today she is still listening. At age 76, Esther visits with 96-year-old Tongas elder Emma Williams.
To see it was all cut clean.
That's where people used to live, went to Kwaan.
You have to learn to respect yourself. This is what they taught us.
In spring and summer, they scattered.
Respect yourself, and people will respect you. And then watch what you say when you're talking. Always watch your words, otherwise you hurt somebody. It's like the way my mother explained it to us. When you see the humpies going up the creek, they don't even know where they're going. Like they're just going like this. That's the way your words go if you don't watch what you're doing, what you're saying.
Esther also teaches as a language instructor at the University of Alaska Southeast in Ketchikan.
Let the young find a home. Push it offshore.
Push it offshore.
As a university instructor, Esther has a chance to go back in time. She leads field trips to remote locations to teach adults traditional methods of food and medicine gathering, ways she learned as a child.
It's a different kind of a cedar. Look at these fiddleheads here. These are very good eating. The tips of them are very good when they're just coming out, and they're very young, really young. They're tender. This is still good. And you could saute it in butter. They're very good eating. The name of this in Tlingit is Sach. This ferns, that's a beautiful fern. I'll show you what to do with skunk cabbage if you're in the bushes. Yeah, just leave that one on. Hold it like this. Do you have a cup to drink water out of? Also, you can use it to pick berries in it if you don't have any container. A lot of these things here was used for medicinal purposes, but if I'm not sure about it, I can't tell you because we don't pass that on unless we're sure of it.
While teaching, Esther takes classes herself and at age 76 is working towards her bachelor's degree.
I'm still learning, still taking classes, hopefully that I don't know if I'll ever get my bachelor's, but maybe some way you can get it before I'm through. It'd be wonderful if I can.
While pursuing her own education, Esther serves as a tribal leader, guiding her Tongas people through major cultural events, helping the bear stand up again. Esther has helped the Tongas tribe raise 2 totem poles in downtown Ketchikan, including the Chief Kwaan pole, carved by her son, Israel Shotridge.
Ready?
Esther also led her people through their first major potlatch in many years, the 40-year memorial of her mother, Alice Harris. Dance groups and native leaders from Canada and the U.S. attended the 4-day event. The potlatch was an opportunity for the Bear Clan of all the Tlingit Nation to gather.
They always say, who are the bears? Who are the bears? And during that time, there was a lot of us there. There was many of us that came out of the woodworks. And they came to show themselves. They're proud of their tribe. They're proud of their heritage, which was good. It was good. I know my mother would have been happy to see that. And all the people that came was wonderful. So this is what we saw. They came to our aid, which was wonderful. That's the Tlingit way. They came without being asked. They were there. This is a lesson our kids have to learn too. You don't just sit. You don't watch people doing things. You're people over there. You go and help. You don't say, "Oh, I got other things to do." No, you step out. You put some money, whatever food you have, you take it. Even if you have to go without, you take it, she said. It will come back maybe tenfold, which is right.
Due to the efforts of Esther and other Tlingit elders, traditions long in hibernation, carving, song, dance, potlatching, are emerging and standing up again. Another tradition Esther is helping to reawaken is the Tlingit tradition of storytelling.
Long ago, Raven was fishing from his canoe with 2 human companions, but they only caught bullheads. As they turned to head home, a heavy fog closed them in, and they did not know which way to go. Suddenly, there appeared a woman sitting right in their canoe. She asked Raven for his spruce root hat, and as she held it, all the fog disappeared into it. The sun shone clearly, and they were able to see their way home. Back in camp, they brought Fogwoman a basket of fresh water from the spring. She dipped her finger in it and told them to spill the water out toward the sea. When they did this, the whole stream was filled with swimming salmon, which they caught and brought back to camp. Fogwoman instructed them to build a smokehouse, and they went to work, smoking and preserving the bounty of miraculous fish for winter storage. Before too long, however, Raven became disenchanted with Fogwoman, and he began to treat her with disrespect. When she realized he would not change his bad ways, she decided to leave him and his camp. As she walked toward the sea, Raven tried to hold her back, but she slipped through his grip like a foggy mist. As she disappeared, all the salmon followed her down into the water. Raven was very sad. Fogwoman took pity on him, however, so she sent her daughter, Creekwoman, to the head of every stream of the land. It is Creekwoman who calls each year the salmon to return to the place of their birth and give abundance to the people.
By repeating the story of Fogwoman, Esther teaches new generations to value the gifts that life offers and to treat with honor that which is presented to them. In 1994, the University of Alaska Southeast awarded Esther Shea an honorary doctorate of humane letters in teaching.
Through all of this, I remember my father's. I always think about it when I get discouraged. When I was going away to school, when I got old enough to understand, so that you have to learn. You have to learn. You have to educate. You have to get an education so that you could be of help to your people. I remember that so well. I used to think, why does he want me to help my people? Can't they help themselves? I never knew what he meant till later on, when I think about it now. When I'm teaching the language to the children, to the ones that are real willing to learn, I think about it. I think about these things and teaching them how to dance and sing. I think about his words. And then I think about my mother. Same time he's telling me to get an education, my mother is telling me not to forget my culture. Don't forget who you are. She used to say, don't forget, no matter how many times you wash your face, you'll never wash a Tlingit off, or who you are, where you came from. No matter how high you go in your life, or where you live, what kind of a learning your education you have, you can't wash your Tlingit off with soap and water, she said. Don't forget who you are and your language, your culture, where you came from.
Esther made a pilgrimage to Tongas Island, 40 miles south of Ketchikan. Tongas Island was the birthplace of her mother and the last village of the Tongas people. Esther, her son Willie Jackson, and his son George prepare a ceremony to the ancestors at the old village site. Esther sings the song, I Went Above for Strength.
The culture today and being passed down from my mom, and my mom is 76 years old today, it's totally enriched our life. To be back on the grounds where my grandmother once stood, it's very spiritual. It's a culture that'll live on for many years to come. But we have to stay grounded to it. And to stay grounded to it, we have to come and visit where our ancestors once stood. This land is still ours. This land still lives in our heart.
For her great endurance and efforts to reawaken her culture, the Alaska Federation of Natives presented Esther Shea their first Culture Bearer Award. They recognized her lifetime accomplishments as a teacher, artist, and leader of 3 dance groups.
I have walked a long trail. It's been a very long trail. Sometimes I think I am alone walking that trail, but now I see I'm not alone. I will finish that trail knowing that I have friends and that I have passed something on, that you will pass on to your children, that you will continue on with your culture.
Like Fogwoman, Esther Shea has brought many gifts to her people through passing down of traditions, cultural memory, and values. Esther is leaving to the younger generations nourishment that can sustain and renew them. Like salmon returning, Esther's work will come back year after year to help assure the survival and prosperity of her people.
Yo-ho-ah-hey, 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 you-na-ha-de, you-na-ha-de, you-na-ha-de-ho. I composed this song, the hoots. Woodihani hoots, that's the bear that stood up. Woodihani hoots, akshay ayam. Woodihani hoots, akshay ayam. Woodihani hoots, akshay ayam. Woodihani hoots, akshay ayam. So that's it.
Say cut. Yeah.
Stay away. Stay away. Let's say, stay away.